We have two cats, and we love them, but they are rascals. There's a bamboo plant in the bedroom, and if we don't leave that door locked, they wait until we leave the house, and then they use their paw to slide that door open just enough to go into the bedroom, and then they eat the bamboo leaves. I think they're part panda. The other day I was down the basement and I realized that I hadn't locked the bedroom door. And I told myself, if you don't go upstairs right now and lock that door, you're going to forget and you're going to leave the house. And when you get home tonight, there isn't going to be a leaf left on that bamboo plant. So I went up the stairs and I walk into the kitchen. And by the time I get to the kitchen, I've already forgotten what I came upstairs for. I can't remember at all. Now, this can happen to anybody. But for people with mild cognitive impairment, it happens a lot. In fact, the ability to remember something you plan to do in the future, a future intention, as it's called, is one of the single most maddening forms of memory loss that people with MCI experience. But it's a problem you can overcome using a technique that I want to show you in this video. It's called Stop, See It, Say It. And simple as it sounds, you may be surprised how well it works. Hi, I'm Tony Deering of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. This is the last of 3 videos showing you how to deal with some of the most common memory problems experienced by people with MCI. Today, we're going to talk about the problem of not being able to remember a future intention. So say you're on the way to the grocery store and you're in the car and you remember you need milk and you forgot to put it on the list. So you say, well, that's okay. When I get to the grocery store, I'll just get the milk. And then you forget. But it's not your fault. It's what's going on in your brain. Some of the ways that you used to remember things just aren't working for you anymore. But you can learn new ways to remember things. It's called memory compensation. It's a set of new skills you can practice and master, and as you do, you'll find that you start remembering things again, and that can make your life so much easier. These techniques were pioneered by the people at Baycrest in Toronto. You can think of these techniques as eyeglasses for the brain. Glasses don't fix your eyes, but when you put them on, you can see more like you used to. This is the same idea, but for your brain, taking those fuzzy memories and making them sharper again. But for now, let's focus on future intentions and how you can lock them into your memory using a technique that Baycrest calls Stop, See It, Say It. The simplicity of it can be quite deceptive. But of all the memory techniques available to people with MCI, this is one of the best. Research shows that people who use this technique are twice as likely to remember a future intention than people who don't. So the next time you need to remember a future intention, try this. First, stop. I mean, really stop and become intentional and tell yourself, this is something important that I need to remember. Then picture it. I mean, in your mind, see yourself doing it every step of the way, pulling into the parking lot, getting out of the car, going through those sliding glass doors and walking past the vegetables and the bread, and you get to the dairy department and opening that glass door and taking the gallon of milk and putting it in your shopping cart before you go do anything else. And then say it out loud in the car. Say, when I get to the grocery store, the first thing I am going to do is go in and get the milk and put it in my cart before I do the rest of my shopping. Now, the first time you do this, you're probably going to feel a little foolish. But once you've tried it a few times, I think you're going to get over that feeling, because I think you're going to be really surprised at how well it works. But it does take practice, and that's true of all the techniques you've learned in these videos. If you practice them, you'll get better at them. The other thing Baycrest really encourages you to do is to take each of these techniques and make it your own. Put your own personal twist on it. One of my very favorites was one I saw from a guy going through the program in Toronto while I was there observing these techniques being taught. He does the stop, see it, say it, but his version is stop, see it, swear it. And when he says it out loud, he sprinkles in all of these profanities. And it's pretty funny, but it worked for him. Now, I'm not here to turn you into a potty mouth. It's just an example. Do what works for you. This technique is part of a broader memory compensation developed at Baycrest, and it has helped thousands of people with MCI for well over a decade. And it's available in this book they published called Living with Mild Cognitive Impairment. The final chapter of the book, chapter 15, walks you through everything you need to improve your daily memory skills and your ability to solve memory problems. And I'm including a link to it in the information below. To be clear, I do not receive any commission or any form of compensation for recommending this book. I recommend it because I believe in it and I see how well it's worked. And of course, this book isn't just about memory compensation. It's the definitive book on MCI. At the very least, I encourage you to try these techniques that you've learned in this series, and if something works for you, share that. Let me know by leaving a comment below or by sending me an email at tonydeering@gocogno.com. Thanks for joining me today. If you found these videos helpful, you may also want to check out these other MCI guidebooks, tip sheets, and other resources. They're all free when you sign up for the GoCogno free library. You'll also get my weekly brain health email, which is also free. Just go to my website, gocogno.com, and click on the link to the free library at the top of any page. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you at gocogno.com. And until then, as always, be kind to your mind.